Welcome to Durbania Live. Super excited to come to you live. It's kind of a last minute come to you live thing. I was going to do like a really cool video about Avengers Endgame, the re-release and the post-credit scenes. The post-credit scenes were really good, but it's like to do a whole pre-recorded video and all of this editing, it's like there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's worth talking about. So I thought, let's do this live. Let's do a Q&A. We'll talk about Endgame. We'll talk about those post-credit scenes, and this is a Ask Me Anything. So after we talk a little in-game, you can ask me anything. So we're just going to hang out together. Plus, next week's all 4th of July week, so my in-laws are all coming out. My brother and sister-in-laws, my mother and father-in-law, all my nieces and nephews. So you'll have less videos from me next week. Probably the only one you'll get from me next week is Spider-Man Far From Home review, and that's because my brother-in-laws and I are just beyond excited to see that movie, and my nephews are now finally old enough to come see a PG-13 movie with us and like have the guys day with us and see Spider-Man Far From Home. So you will definitely get that review from me, but otherwise you'll probably only get the one video next week. So I wanted to take this time for us to just hang out and chat and all of that stuff. So glad to see we got some people watching right now, got some thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. Chime in the live chat and let's start talking Avengers Endgame. So here's what I'm going to do. We will talk in-game spoilers. So I'm going to give a little countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's spoilers up the Watusi. And I'm going to begin by talking about those post-credit scenes and those spoilers. So we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We are doing in-game spoilers. So let's start talking about those post-credit scenes. So hey, Durbin, love your channel. Thank you so much, Flicks and Brick Studios. I really appreciate that. So in-game post-credit scenes, they did add some post-credit scenes. Did you already see it? Yes, I did. I literally, I'm doing this live, having just gotten back from the theater. Robert says, what happens in it? I need to know if it's worth the money. Ha, ha, ha. First off, it is worth the money because it's in-game, and we want it to beat Avatar. That alone, I mean, nothing against Avatar. I think it's a great movie. I'm just saying that alone is worth you paying that money to go see Endgame. The post-credit scenes actually reminding me more of special features on a Blu-ray than your traditional Marvel post-credit scene. So there was like 3. They were all kind of back-to-back at the very, very end. So there's no mid post-credit scenes. It's all literally post-credit. And then one of the directors comes on and thanks everybody, which I think is really classy. And I'm not just thanking everybody for waiting through the credits. They thank everybody for watching the MCU. So that's really, really cool. Once that's done and he moves into those scenes, the first thing is this cool tribute to Stan Lee, which it's really nice to get to see that and to get to have that, especially with Endgame, seeing as how Endgame is closing out. Well, I guess now Spider-Man Far From Home is closing out the Infinity Saga, but really closing out a lot of our main characters. Endgame feels more like, an end. So it was really cool to get this whole Stan Lee tribute at the end. And what I liked was it was mostly talking about his cameos. So it was like these interviews of him, and you see him on set with all the different cameos that he's done and kind of his voiceover. And he's like blown away that these characters that he made up, yeah, he put his heart and soul into it. But as he worded it, it's like, yeah, I wrote a lot of these things just to try to pay the rent. But now here I am in cameos on blockbuster movie sets with these directors and these stars and these people that love these characters and show such respect to these characters. That to me was what got me the most in that Stan Lee tribute. I mean, it's cool to see the behind the scenes footage and see him on the set and all that stuff. But to hear him say that, because I'm a creative, I like to create things, obviously, because here I am on YouTube. I was in radio as a DJ and stuff for 14 years before I even did this. And so it's like, I get it. When you're creating and you're putting yourself out there, you really want to know that it's resonating. So that was the cool thing. If you're just joining, that was the cool thing in the first post-credit scene for Endgame was the Stan Lee tribute, just showing like how much it meant to him that all of these characters resonated and resonated so much that here he was trying to pay the rent and now he's on the set of blockbuster movies. So I thought like that was a really, really cool little tribute to Stan Lee. Little Max says, wow, I'm agreeing with you. I thought that same thing. Let's see. Robert says, I was talking about in the re-release. Haha, I've seen it 3 times. The re-release is good and it's worth seeing a fourth time. This was my 3rd time seeing it. I'm going to see it a 4th time on Sunday. What happens in it? I get it now. You're saying what happens in it, but that's the joke because you've seen it. Well, go see it again. Okay, we need it to beat Avatar, or just go buy a ticket and then walk away. Just we I want to see it beat Avatar. I want to see it do that so bad. Anyway, I'm excited to see it again on Sunday. Second post-credit scene really felt like a Blu-ray special feature because what it was a deleted scene featuring Professor Hulk. I love the reveal we got of Professor Hulk in Endgame. Again, everybody, spoilers. I love the Professor Hulk reveal where we're sitting there and he has breakfast and he has all that food sitting there in front of him. That is such a fantastic reveal. So, are you guys ready for this spoiler, for this post credit scene spoiler? It's a deleted scene where before we meet Hulk that way, we get to see him actually being a superhero. He's got like some sort of costume on. There's this building on fire. Carl Winslow. Yeah, from Family Matters. Steve Urkel. Carl Winslow is like the chief there in attendance. So it's kind of got this diehard vibe to it. All of a sudden, Hulk jumps into the building and rescues the people from the burning fire. And the point of that scene was to get, a picture of the Hulk now. Now that he's Professor Hulk, he gets to be that superhero that all the other superheroes get to be. So I have to say, like, it was cool to see that and to have that concept. But I'm glad that they cut it simply because the reveal in the movie of Professor Hulk, I just thought was stinking hilarious. Rewind, replay. Durban, good morning from Australia. Is it morning in Australia? Well, good morning to you, sir. Wow. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of cool. It's funny though, because what really made it feel like a Blu-ray special feature is the graphics weren't finished in that scene. So here comes Hulk, and he's like barely rendered when he's talking. His mouth isn't moving. He definitely looked like a giant green Sim from Sim City. That's exactly what he looked like. And it was weird to see that on the big screen rather than a Blu-ray, but it was kind of cool of Marvel to kind of throw us that because it's a cool little thing to show us who the Hulk has become. Again, glad it got cut because it just fit, the way that they did it. But yeah, my computer keeps getting all these notifications. Do you guys do that? Where you're sitting here, you're broadcasting live, and your computer just pops up all these notifications. Eventually, I'm going to figure out how to mute all of that and turn that off. I'm not talking about you in the live chat. I'm talking about other weird notifications that pop up. I love your live chat. Little Mac, I like Professor Hulk, but I still wanted them to give Hulk his spotlight that it deserved in Endgame. Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have spotlighted him more. I mean, honestly, and here's my feelings. Captain Marvel was not necessary to the plot of this film. There's other ways that they could have gotten Tony home back to Earth. And one thing that I was thinking, especially as I was watching this, how cool would it have been if Hulk, when they were raining fire down at the very end of the movie, what if Hulk just got so mad he said, Hulk smash, like one last time, and he was the guy who jumped up and took down Thanos' ship? How cool would that have been? So yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, the third and final post-credit scene that I want to talk about comes from, again, another weird notification on my laptop. Gosh. Anyway, doesn't it know I'm live? Serious. It's not like you guys are seeing them. Why am I talking about them? Anyway, the third and final post-credit scene, and again, spoilers ahead, it's a scene from Spider-Man Far From Home. And it wasn't much. It's basically one tiny scene where you get to see, I almost said Luke Cage. It is not Luke Cage. It is Nick Fury. It would have been great if Luke Cage showed up in here. No, it was Nick Fury and Robin Scherbatsky. My gosh, I am bad at the names, but Robin Scherbatsky from How I Met Your Mother. Those two show up at this small town destroyed by a weather event, but it's an elemental, so it's not a weather event. And then we see Mysterio. And so we get to kind of see how they meet Mysterio for the first time super quick, and it cuts to black. So that felt like the one true post-credit scene that we got in this. And it was kind of a cool little segue into what we're going to get from Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'm very glad they didn't show, much more than that. So I'm very excited to see what Spider-Man Far From Home is going to give us. Did you see Far From Home yet? I did not. I'm actually going to be seeing it Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which. So Monday or Tuesday is when I'll finally be seeing Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'll get a review up as fast as I can after that. And so that'll be really fun to do. I'm looking forward to Far From Home. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to be honest with you though, real quick, since we're doing this live and we're going to, Q&A after this. The one thing that kind of makes me nervous about Far From Home is the introduction of the multiverse. Now, Marvel has not let me down, but the reason I'm nervous about the multiverse is probably because of the CW. When Flash season 2 did the multiverse, I thought it was unique. It was awesome. It was entertaining. but then it got so overused that death was utterly meaningless. So on the CW, when you had a main character die off the show, there was no emotion, there was no impact, and there was no sadness. Because you know the Earth 2 or Earth 5 copy is just going to come in and be there for some stupid reason. So they're all going to be around. And so I think the CW burned me on that a little bit. And I just saw that way too much through Arrow as it progressed, Flash as it progressed. So it's made me a little bit nervous about the idea of doing a multiverse, because it's like, I don't want to see Tony Stark again. I love Tony Stark, so I don't mean that cruelly. I mean, spoiler, his sacrifice at the end of Endgame was huge, and I don't want the emotional weight of that undermined. So I'm a little bit nervous, but at the same time, it is Marvel. My gosh, when I heard they were doing Guardians of the Galaxy, I said, come on, Marvel. You want to bring a talking space raccoon into this? Are you an idiot? And now the talking space raccoon is my favorite flippin' character. And Guardians of the Galaxy is probably one of my favorite MCU movies. So I know I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on putting aside my kind of nervousness and trusting that this is the MCU after all. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay. All right. Now that I've kind of talked a little bit about that, let's just throw it over to you guys and let's do our Q&A portion of this. You can ask me anything, whether it's in-game related, Spider-Man related. If you've seen Far From Home, don't you dare put a spoiler anywhere in there, because I haven't seen it and I do not want it to be spoiled. So what do we got here? Rewind, replay. It would have been amazing if Banner and Widow were together and he had full control over Hulk as he did in Endgame. Then they go to Vormir together and she has to die because Hulk won't let. Ooh. You know what, rewind, replay, that would have had far more emotional impact than what we got. The one thing I liked about the scene that we got, spoilers, is who's going to die. So Hawkeye and Black Widow fighting each over who will die. Like, I didn't know which one was going to be sacrificed. I really didn't. So I liked that part of it. But yeah, I didn't feel the emotional weight in that scene. So to have Hulk there, who truly loves Nat, and so that really would be him giving up something he loves, soul for a soul. That would have been way more powerful. Imagine him having everything he wanted, and Hulk cost him the love. Ooh, gosh, would have made him doing the snap so much more powerful and allowed him to rage in Act 3. I totally agree. That would have been a great idea. Little Mac, that would be nice, rewind, but it felt like a brother and sister moment. Yeah, it did. It did. Let's see here. Travis Elrod, thanks for all your videos. I love your channel and greatly appreciate the Christian perspective in your theological analyses. Thank you, Travis. I really do appreciate that, especially when I do those theological analyses. Those are kind of a lot of work. A lot of thinking goes into those, and sometimes those are the less viewed things that I do, but they're also the things that I'm the most passionate about. And so it's awesome to hear that. And tomorrow I'm dropping a theological analysis for Spider-Man. I'm kind of doing it a little bit different than my other theological analyses. So definitely let me know what you think of that format, because I'm going to be doing the top 3 lessons Peter Parker learned in Spider-Man Homecoming about being a superhero. And I had a lot of fun putting that video together. It was just, well, I mean, I just find how much I like Spider-Man, and I think Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man. So it was really fun to rewatch this movie and then kind of go through and pick the 3 lessons I think he learned. So I had a lot of fun. So that's popping up tomorrow. Super Jordan Reviews. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Well, for anybody else who's also late, Super Jordan Reviews, what you missed is I talked a little bit about Endgame. I went into the 3 post-credit scenes. They're not mid-credits. All 3 of these scenes are very post-credits, and they got kind of a Blu-ray feel. So I kind of talked about them and reviewed them. And so you could probably, when this is all done and posted, you could go back and check out my views on that. But if you have any other questions for me, you can definitely pop them up here and say, is it worth it? And my answer will be yes, it is worth it. Go see Endgame, not just for the post-credit scenes, but so it can be Avatar. Little Mac, you missed what he said about, yep, there you go. Little Mac, you're on top of this, aren't you? Little Mac, what do you know if they're going to be on Blu-ray? What? Oh, I don't know. Wait, do you know if they're going to be on Blu-ray? I don't know. I mean, I assume they would be on the Blu-ray. But yeah, I don't know anything about the Blu-ray of this movie. Robert Mulligan, do you hate Fat Thor as much as I did? It was funny at first, but I thought he could do some push-ups and shred the fat, or call down lightning and shred the fat for the end battle. LOL. Robert, okay, so this was my 3rd time watching the movie. And so I have a weird perspective on it. Number one, I totally get why it annoys you, because it is really hilarious to see him fat in the beginning, but it just never goes away. And actually, you know what bothers me more than Thor being fat? His hair. Like at the very end, when his hair gets braided for that last battle, It looks so bad. That bothers me more than him being fat. But anyway, here's my perspective on him being fat, which is why I don't mind the fatness so much. I complain a lot about Thor Ragnarok because he lost, his father after losing his mother, right? Found out he had a sister, then had to kill that sister. His entire homeland was destroyed. I mean, Thor Ragnarok had the heaviest plot and the most emotional trauma being dealt out to Thor, and it was one giant slapstick comedy. And it's not that I didn't think it was funny, it was funny. But now, by the time I'm getting to the third time of viewing Endgame, I'm starting to take it a little bit different because it's like, okay, so Thor's deflection is humor. So of course, then that makes sense that Ragnarok is hysterical because now he's really got to deflect. But he's fat because in Endgame, it has all caught up with him. We see it in Infinity War start to build, start to build, start to build. And then when Thanos says, you should have gone for the head, and he snapped and killed half of all life, if Thor went through for the head, there would have been no snap to begin with. Can you imagine the guilt that that guy has and all the stuff that he's kind of holding up inside? It makes sense that it would manifest in him ballooning out and looking like melted ice cream. I get it, like it gets annoying because it's funny at first, but honestly, I don't think it's for the gag. I think it's for the emotional impact of all the stuff that he's been deflecting through humor, all the stuff that has been happening to him is finally really catching up to him until he hugs his mother one last time. And she says, everybody fails at who they're supposed to be. Just be who you are. So I thought that was a really awesome, powerful message. Super Jordan reviews, is it actually worth seeing in game just for these scenes? Full price. No, I mean, the post credit scenes are really, really I was gonna say really, really good. The really, really good one is the tribute to Stan Lee. That's the one that is really, really good. I just think it's worth it because it's a freaking fantastic movie, and I want to see it set the new record, and I want to see it actually beat Avatar. So if you're asking my opinion, go see it again because it's an excellent movie, and now you get this bonus of a few extra things at the end, and the best of those things being that Stan Lee tribute. Robert says, I heard August 13th for Blu-ray, I think. Well, I hope you're right because that's pretty close to my birthday, and that would be a happy birthday to me. Travis, what kind of work goes into your videos? How much do you write beforehand? That depends on the videos. Honestly, if I write and I have a script, I do horrible. Like I cannot get one word out of my mouth and I constantly stumble over myself like you wouldn't believe. So, in terms of writing, I don't do a lot of writing because I get really frustrated. I like to have an outline. So when I do like my theological analyses, I like to break it down into threes. Okay, so here I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to segue into that, and then in the end it's going to be that. And I like to have those bullet points and then, once I kind of have the bullet points in my head, I don't have to look down. At that same time, that means some of these theological analyses I've done, I've recorded about 12 times before I'm happy with them. But for some reason, that's just what I feel the most comfortable doing. It's like a process in my brain. Some days it's frustrating, some days it's fine. It just kind of depends. But I like doing that. I just kind of like sitting in front of the camera and doing more of a conversation than a scripted thing. So I like to give myself the point so I have a direction, but I don't like to script it out. I kind of like let God lead me through it, And I do that a lot with my other reviews too. I kind of like to break it down into thirds and go, let's hit this, this, and this. But I don't like to really write things out because seriously, I just want to sit in front of the camera and flow. Sometimes I realize how much I repeat myself and it's crazy. And so there's a lot of editing to try to make it look really clean. Maybe I'll throw a clip here to add a cut there. So there's definitely work put into that. And there, a lot of my work is in post production and in editing. So that's kind of where it is for me. Little Mac, I hated Fat Thor, but they dragged it too much. Yeah, I see what you mean. Little Mac, what's your thoughts on the A Force esque team up in the final battle in Endgame? I thought it was good. I mean, honestly, like even watching it today, it's like the whole battle is good. I mean, the one part that's kind of cheesy is kind of that girl power thing. It's because they made it cheesy. It's like, no, I mean, they're all awesome characters, all of them, male or female. So they took that and made that kind of cheesy. But otherwise, like even now, as watching it, it didn't bother me. Like none of, I just think it all looks awesome. That whole in battle scene is so Lord of the Rings esque and epic that there really isn't anything I can point out and say, oh, that's just bad or annoys me. But I look at it and I go, yes, this is the way that you bring the Avengers to the end. Travis, I would love your take on my biggest problem in Endgame. We did not see the resolution of the conflict between Banner and Hulk from Infinity War. We did not see the resolution of the conflict between Banner and Hulk from Infinity War. That is true. All they really did is jump 5 years into the future, and suddenly it's Professor Hulk. And so the only thing that I could take from it, like to me, it doesn't feel like a plot hole. And honestly, that didn't bother me until you've said it, and now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I see what you mean. It would have been cool to have some moment of reconciliation, some moment where the Hulk came out one last time as the Hulk. And so we kind of could see, in a sense, the separate personalities become friends before the separate personalities decide to like become one. That would have been cool. I mean, I thought the explanation worked. I mean, it didn't really bug me that they're sitting there at breakfast and he said, I spent however long in a gamma lab and boom, I'm Professor Hulk. It's like, no, I can believe that. You're a super smart dude. But I do kind of agree with you. I just don't know where they would put that. That's the thing that's difficult is where would it go? Would it go at the beginning of Endgame? Maybe instead of, the Hulkbuster suit, maybe he just turns green for one last, punch in Thanos' face. That could have been kind of cool. Actually, now that I say it out loud, that would be the spot where that would work. So I get it. Yeah, that probably would have helped us a little bit, but yeah. I hope Guardians 3 has Thor in it. It better. After that setup, I'm telling you, Guardians 3 better be the as Guardians of the Galaxy. Almighty Coon. Nice. I like note cards. Yes, I like note cards as well. Super Jordan reviews. One of my biggest issues with Endgame was that I feel they mishandled Star-Lord, one of my favorite characters, and just used him to make fun of him in every scene he was in, minus Avengers Assemble. I didn't get the feeling that they made fun of him. I see what you mean though, because when you see him dancing and you're not hearing the music and there's War Machine, oh, so he's an idiot. Yeah, you have that moment there and it's like, oh, okay. Because yeah, he's Star-Lord. But the thing that kind of sucks is there is so much going on, and since he was one of the disintegrated, one of those that was decimated, and so you kind of bring everybody back for the big epic battle, that's got to be a challenge for any writer director to figure out how to utilize everybody properly. And I think what they did though was the smart way because they needed to bring an end to the Avengers that started it all because that's kind of what it was. I know we might get more Thor and a solo Thor movie and another Guardians movie, but really this is the end of Tony's story. It's the end of Captain America's story. It's just kind of bringing an era to an end. So the focus needed to be there. I see what you mean though. I think they were really just trying to pay homage to his humor, but it can definitely come off that way. Let's see. Donald Trump. Well, hello. The stream is fake news. Hilarious. Oh, man. Chandler videos. Donald Trump, you are by far my favorite comment. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Rewind replay. At no point did they ever go ahead and make the girls in the MCU weak. In fact, most are more powerful than their male counterparts. Hate scene felt like there was double X chromosome magnet. Like I said, it wasn't a bad scene. I just felt like it was cheesy the way they tried to like manufacture that way to bring them all together. But when I say cheesy, I've definitely seen cheesier things and I've definitely seen worse things. That end battle is freaking amazing. And Marvel has done a really great job of doing fantastic, strong female characters. I agree. Little Mac, what if Gamora from the past was brought and never died in the battle? Is she still technically alive then? Actually, Little Mac, I think that's what they're going for. She was brought back from 2014. She is now in the year 2023 somewhere. So I think that's the goal. I think that she is alive somewhere. And so now we have a weird branch in 2014 that is, I don't know what that weird branch of life looks like, but I will be very curious to see what they're going to do in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie because I'm betting you Quill's going to go find her. I mean, there's just no way. Let's see. Travis, will you get Disney Plus? Which show are you most looking forward to? Mandalorian, Loki. Let's see. I will get Disney Plus. I'm going to get it for sure. I am looking forward to Loki. I'm also looking forward to, Winter Soldier and the new Captain America teaming up. I think that's going to be a really fun show. I like those two actors' chemistry together. They are absolutely hysterical. So I think that's going to be good. The WandaVision show, I'm going to give it a shot because I love the MCU and I love Marvel. And if Disney Plus does what Netflix does and drops it all and I could binge it, that'll make me the happiest. Because if I have to go week by week and I'm not digging it, I'm just going to stop watching it. But that would be the one I'm probably least excited about. But I am looking forward to Disney Plus, and I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Travis, WandaVision. Yeah, I just not as interested in that one. Super Jordan reviews. Guardians 3 equals 50 first dates. Because she doesn't remember him. Yeah, actually, this one doesn't not remember him. She just doesn't know him. Chandler videos. I personally think Infinity War is better than Endgame. I did have second thoughts on whether or not Endgame is worthy because of the last act, but I felt more of a stronger attachment in Infinity War. Chandler, I keep going back and forth on that because Infinity War has a lot of strength to it. It really does. I think there's parts of Endgame that have a really powerful emotional punch to me, such as spoilers when Tony is laying there dying and Spider-Man is crying over him, or when Pepper Potts comes up to him and says, "We're going to be okay. You can rest now." Like, I mean, just watching it again today, I found myself choked up over that. I'm like, what in the world is that about? So I think there's definitely punches in Endgame that have more emotion, but then there's other things like Black Widow and Hawkeye. Which one's gonna die? When Black Widow gave her life, I didn't feel the emotional punch of that scene. Whereas in Infinity War, there was a lot more stuff consistently heavy. So I think I see what you're talking about, especially the surprise ending when the bad guy wins. Like, I mean, come on. It left theaters flabbergasted. Seriously. Little Mac, yeah, and she obviously has no memory of the Guardians. Referring to an earlier thing there, yes, she has no memory because she never met them, so no memories have even formed. Although I do love in-game, says Chandler videos. I hope the extra scenes are worth seeing. There's not really extra scenes, Chandler. It's a tribute to Stan Lee that I thought was particularly good. One deleted scene involving the Hulk and a scene pointing us towards Spider-Man Far From Home. Like, those are the three things all grouped together, along with a thank you to all the fans. Like, it's really cool. That's what I liked about the post-credit thing, is after they showed those three scenes, this text just pops up and they thanked all of the fans for watching. So I think it's cool, but like I said earlier, it's not just about the scenes, it's about beating Avatar. And Endgame is worthy to beat Avatar. Avatar is a good movie, nothing against it. It's had its record for a decade. Endgame is freaking fantastic. Let the comic book movie take it. Come on. So go see it. Travis says, you said any question goes, so I am trying to change it up. Favorite Disney World or Disneyland ride, if you've been to either? I haven't been to Disney World in Florida since I was 6. I did Disneyland a few years ago, and I went with my in-laws and my nephews. And I'm trying to think, like, what was my favorite ride there? My favorite ride. Um, the Ferris wheel was kind of cool. I don't think that was actually in Disneyland. I think that was the other theme park, which the name is escaping me. I'm bad at names. Can you all tell? Um, And there's a roller coaster there. I really liked that one. Oh, the Cars, like when you do that Cars ride, that was kind of fun. I enjoyed going into the whole Cars area and did that Cars ride. That was good. And that's all I could think of. Like, those are the two stand. The Matterhorn's okay. I don't mind the Matterhorn. I just don't see why that's so popular or so spectacular. Let's see, Super Jordan. How long are all the scenes together? They're not very long. It's probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes of a tribute to Stan Lee. The deleted Hulk scene is less than that. And then the Spider-Man Far From Home scene is probably a minute. So they're not very long at all. So really, it's like an extra 5 minutes at the end of all the credits. And that's really about it. I mean, it's not like those scenes are so special. You have to go back and see this movie. It is kind of a gimmick to get you to go back in there and spend more money on it. But at the same time, it's flipping Endgame, and I'm just excited it's back. So I went to see it, and I'm seeing Endgame again on Sunday. So I don't know. I'm just happy it's back. Almighty Coon, LOR, Avatar, LOR. I cannot talk today. LOL, Avatar, nice dude. Now you see how much I'm stumbling over words here? Can you imagine how much editing I do on my videos? Super Jordan reviews. I hope Endgame beats Avatar. I do too. Let's see. The Incredicoaster and Radiator Springs Racers. Yeah, I like the Radiator Springs Racers, Super Jordan. Did I do the Incredicoaster? Is that the roller coaster I'm talking about? That might have been the roller coaster I'm talking about, and I didn't even realize I did it. I don't know. Well, does anybody have any other questions that they would like to ask me, or did I miss anybody's questions? It's a Q&A. You can ask me anything. Good stuff, Durbania. Thank you so much, Almighty Coon. It was probably California Screamin' as it was changed. Yeah, that's true. Yes, that is probably true. And I was probably on it right before it was changed because that was before Incredibles 2 came out. So that makes sense, Super Jordan Reviews. So then, yes, I have actually been on that roller coaster and I enjoyed it because, I like roller coasters. So awesome. Are you guys looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home? Does the idea of an MCU multiverse, does it make you excited or does it make you nervous? So if this is a Q&A, that's my cue to you. What are your guys' answers to that? Are you excited about a multiverse or are you nervous about a multiverse? So let's talk about that for a little bit if you guys don't mind at all. So yeah, there we go. Travis says excited slash nervous. That's a great answer to that question. Honestly, Travis, that's exactly where I am too. Because it's Marvel, they do a good job with those things. So I'm excited, but because of CW, I'm a little burned and a little nervous. Let's see. I hope I'm saying your name right. Damien Scott. I'm gonna call you Scott. I'm sorry, man. Do you think some canceled shows will be revived on Disney Plus? I hope so. I don't know which ones. I know they're not gonna. Disney Plus is not gonna be the ones who revive the Marvel Netflix shows. I know that. Heard the rumors they'll be on Hulu. That would be cool if they end up on Hulu, but I doubt it. So I don't know, man. Like it'd be cool if they revive some, but we've seen some things be revived, like Full House, Fuller House, and we saw Disney try to do, a sequel show to Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World. My wife tried to watch Girls Meets World. She didn't get very far in it. She did do about 3 seasons of Fuller House. So some of these revived shows are kind of cool, and some of them it's like, wow, that should have stayed buried. Super Jordan Reviews. I'm excited, but I was a bit disappointed about Homecoming as I feel it didn't really delve into Peter Parker's character that much compared to the Raimi films, and I think the Russos use him better. I agree with you. I think they didn't dive too much into Peter Parker in this one like they did in the Raimi films because the Raimi films did it. And there's probably an understandable amount of anxiousness on the side of the MCU and the Russo brothers and others to try to do something as different as possible. You got to be true to the character, but at the same time, to keep on revisiting stuff that we visited quite a bit, it's kind of difficult. So I kind of get it. But this has just been my favorite Peter Parker so far. And it's probably because of how the Russo brothers used him in Civil War. It's probably because of, how he was used in Infinity War. And I really liked Homecoming, but I do get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, we didn't dive as much into Peter Parker as before. But tomorrow I'm dropping this really cool Homecoming theological analysis. 3 lessons Peter Parker learned about being a superhero in Homecoming. Check that out tomorrow and tell me what you think of that one. Jordan Sweet, hey man, re-rank Superman movies. Oh my gosh, yeah, I did that a long time ago. But I think I already included all of them in there. So I don't know, like, if they released, like, if a new one. Oh, wait, I could throw in the animated movies. I could probably, okay, that's a good idea for a video. I will let that percolate and see what we come up with. Scott says they should bring back Earth Mightiest Heroes and Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, Scott. 100% agree with you. I only got 2 seasons into Earth's Mightiest Heroes because it's like that's all they posted on Netflix, and then it like stopped dropping. And I was really enjoying that animated series. It was fantastic. Didn't get into the Spectacular Spider-Man because I put it in my Hulu watch list, and then the thumbnail of it remained, and I went to hit play, and the show's gone. Like I don't understand that. I don't know. Super Jordan Reviews. Just wondering, are you a youth pastor? I am not a youth pastor, no, but I do like ministering. I love, talking to people about God in a way that's relevant and not trying to like, beat people in the face with it. So, that's why I do this channel. I've worked in Christian radio for about 14 years as a DJ. So it's just something that I do. So no, I'm not a youth pastor. I am friends with a lot of youth pastors. And there's this awesome youth organization where I live, and I've edited some videos for them, and I've spoken at some of their events. So, there's like definitely things I participate in. Jordan Sweet, no Justice League. Oh, not Justice League. What are you responding to? I missed it. It's somewhere up there. Sorry. Anyway, Travis, what shows have you seen every episode of? 24 is on my list. I want to see every episode of 24. I had a weird relationship with that. I've seen every single episode of Smallville. Flippin' love Smallville. Seen every episode of Parks and Rec. Seen every episode of The Office. Seen every episode of How I Met Your Mother. I've seen every episode of Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, Those are like some of my favorites that just popped in my mind. I'm surprised that many popped in my mind. So yeah, a lot of those are a lot of my favorites. Almighty Coon, my mom helps with local youth ministers. Really, that's really cool. Jordan Sweet, no Justice League in your Superman ranking. Sorry, I was unclear. No, you weren't unclear, Jordan. It's just, you know how it is. You're live on the air. You have hot studio lights in your face, and you're trying to pretend you're not hot and all that stuff. Anyway, no, I totally, yeah, I wouldn't put it in my Superman ranking simply because if I'm doing a Superman ranking, I want to rank solo Superman films. So as much as a Justice League could have Superman at the center of it, it's technically a Justice League. So anyway, yes, Super Jordan reviews. I'm currently a student youth leader and about to lead an alpha youth. Oh, that's really cool, man. Awesome. Well, God bless with that. Batman: The Dark Knight. Do you know GTA? Did you played one of them? Did you watch Scarface or Goodfellas? Both masterpieces. No to Scarface and Goodfellas. GTA. What is that? Godfather? No, it's not Godfather. What's GTA? Driscoll Brothers, what is up? How you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining. If you are just now joining, we've been doing a live Q&A. Talked a little bit about the 3 post-credit scenes in the Endgame re-release. So if you have any questions about those post-credit scenes, you want to talk about Endgame at all whatsoever, let's keep this rolling here. How excited are you, not just for Spider-Man Far From Home, but a multiverse now in the MCU? Travis, is that a Jurassic Park novel behind you on the shelf? Creighton is my favorite fiction author ever. I've read almost all of them. Sorry, I kicked my computer. Yes, it is. In fact, I reviewed this and I have a review of this up on my channel. So this is the first and second book. It's like this really cool, like Barnes and Noble special edition, and it's a really cool cover. I like the silver on the pages. The only thing I don't like, you can't really see it. Maybe you can. Some of this red bleeds over here and turns this awesome white cover pink. That's the only thing that I think is kind of a negative. So after I read them, I'm definitely leaving them up there because I want that to last. But they are fantastic novels, and sadly, these are the only Crichton novels I've read. But I love the movie Sphere, and I think that's the next Crichton novel that I want to read. Driscoll Brothers, I'm extremely excited for Spider-Man Far From Home. Awesome, dude. Super Jordan reviews. Also, I really liked your Toy Story theological analysis. Well, thank you so much, man. That was kind of fun to put together, and that was one of those ones that just kind of really flowed because Woody's journey throughout that movie was really interesting. Jordan Sweet, was there a Fox Marvel tease? No, there was no Fox Marvel tease whatsoever. The post-credit scenes were a awesome Stan Lee tribute that was particularly good, and it was a deleted scene featuring the Hulk, and it was a scene from Spider-Man Far From Home that really doesn't give too many spoilers, but kind of makes you excited. So nothing Marvel Fox related. I think we got some few years ahead before we even start to tease that stuff, but that's just me. I don't know. Driscoll Brothers, are you excited for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? No, I just don't like Tarantino. I mean, there's some movies he's done I like. I mean, I liked um wow, obviously I didn't like it that much. Hey Laura, what's the Tarantino movies that I liked that you don't like? I'm very bad. Uma Thurman. What is that one? Gosh, my wife is in this house somewhere. Anyway, that Uma Thurman one that I carry, Kill Bill. My gosh, why did it take that long for Kill Bill to come into my mind? Can anybody answer that? Oh, is there a brain surgeon in there in the comments that could tell me what happened in my brain just now? That's the only Tarantino movies I like is Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Otherwise, I do not like Tarantino and I do not quite, it's just not my thing. So no, I'm not looking forward to that. Driscoll Brothers, I love Hateful Eight. A lot of people told me that's a good one. I might cave in and check that out. But I'm also really mad that he's getting a Star Trek movie, so I also might not. Travis, please keep doing what you're doing with the theological analyses. I've been looking a long time for a Christian perspective into the nerd culture. Well, thank you so much for those encouraging words. And that was something I wanted to do too, because it's like I can't find that Christian perspective into the nerd culture, So I'm a nerd, love these Marvel comics, love these DC comics, love fantasy and science fiction. So it's just awesome to get the chance to be able to dive into that and do that with that perspective. Since, I mean, I am a Christian, so it's fun to talk about it from that perspective. Super Jordan reviews. Have you seen the movie I Can Only Imagine? I have not. What did I see instead of that one? I saw Breakthrough instead of that one. They weren't out at the same time. I just never got around the Seeing I Can Only Imagine. I think there are some other movies that were out around that time that I saw over that. But my family saw I Can Only Imagine, and they keep telling me that I have to see it. And my sister tells me how much it made her cry. Scott, I only like Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1 and 2 were decent. Yeah, Pulp Fiction is one of the ones I don't get, but that's totally cool. It's not that I don't get it. That's just it's not for me, if that makes any sense. But Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 I thought were okay. Travis, I would love your take on Hacksaw Ridge. I should definitely do one on Hacksaw Ridge. That movie was freaking fantastic. And it's a perfect example of a Christian film done right. Rather than trying to take a Christian film, which, the goal of film is to go and be entertained and not preached at. And so it's really cool when Mel Gibson does this movie and it's about this Christian character, but it's not about preaching at the audience. So I really enjoyed that. So it was emotional, it was moving, it was awesome. So yeah, I'll have to do that. I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge since it came out, so I'll definitely have to go back in there. Super Jordan reviews, you should definitely see it. Bring tissues though. Oh yes, I will. Caleb Richardson, my dad's not really a pop culture person. He'll watch movies and TV, but he never gets into fandom or cares about reviews. But he loves your theological analyses videos. Thank you, Caleb. That means a lot to me. Driscoll Brothers, do you like Christopher Nolan? Of course I like Christopher Nolan. That guy has done some good movies. So yeah, no, I haven't seen all of his movies, but I definitely like him. He's got a good style and he does a good job with characters to get you in there. Do I watch John Campea? I do sometimes. He got really passionate about how the CW currently is using Superman wrong, and I totally agreed with him. And he was like on fire, and it was hysterical to watch. So I do watch him from time to time. He's not somebody I watch a ton, but yeah, no. Anytime he's Team Superman, yeah, I'm for that. Super Drone Reviews, what is your favorite Pixar film? Probably The Incredibles. Again, because I'm a nerd and I absolutely love superhero stuff. And that just did love his rants. He does get on some good rants, John Campea. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Incredibles. Incredibles 1 is definitely my favorite Pixar film. Let's see. Jordan Sweet, will you rank the Disney live actions after Lion King? Also love Campea. I don't know if I'm going to do a ranking of the Disney live action films simply because I haven't seen them all. And like the ones I haven't seen, I desperately don't want to see. And Maleficent, the second one coming out, I didn't like the first one even a little bit. And I haven't seen it in so long, I don't even remember it anymore. I don't even want to. And so, like, I like the song in the trailer, how they use that song Season of the Witch in the trailer. Like, yeah, that flows nice with the trailer and all, but I still have no real desire to see that movie, especially since that trailer makes her look like such a villain. And wasn't the movie all about ripping off the ending of their other property, Frozen, and making her such a hero? So I don't know. It's like some of these Disney live actions I think are really good. Jungle Book is still my favorite. Lion King, I'm excited about and nervous about. Aladdin was meh. So it's just hard because like I haven't seen all of them, so I can't rank all of them. And I know like YouTube is like something I'm choosing to do as a profession, so I should just be professional, right? And just go watch them. But some of them I really don't want to watch. Super Joan reviews, unpopular opinion, but I think Cars 1 is my sixth favorite Pixar film. I don't know how that's popular or unpopular because that feels like, top 10, but still not number one. Let's see. Caleb Richardson, what is your favorite incarnation of Spider-Man? Comic, animation, film, video game, etc. Ooh. There was a Spider-Man game. I'm trying to remember. I think it was just called Ultimate Spider-Man on the first Xbox, like the first ever Xbox, and the graphics were really sweet. It was like the first open world game I played where I'm running through the city, and you could play as Spider-Man or you could play as Venom. And I think that was probably my favorite incarnation because I didn't really like the Tobey Maguire movies. Like they were good, they're fine, but I never connected with them and like loved them. And so playing this particular Spider-Man game made me love Spider-Man games and gave me a whole new appreciation for the character I never had before. So that game was kind of my gateway into getting to know the character. So I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man on Xbox One, and I'll call that my favorite simply because it got me into Spider-Man. But in terms of the movies out right now, I really do like Tom Holland. Like the kid has made me cry. I'm laughing so hard. And both in Infinity War and in Endgame had scenes that he made me cry because it was so super emotional. Plus, my favorite scene in Homecoming is when that whole building is on him and he has to lift it up off of him and him finding the strength to do that freaking loved that scene. The way Tom Holland played both the vulnerability and then the strength, it was just incredible. So yeah, in terms of movie, it's definitely going to be Tom Holland. Let's see here. Super Jordan reviews, unpopular opinion, but I think Cars. Okay, I already read that. Caleb says the ones I like change the movies the least: Jungle Book, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, etc. Well, yeah, I liked Jungle Book. I never saw Cinderella. It's one of the ones I just don't really want to see. Beauty and the Beast, it was truly a meh movie for me. I don't even carry memories of it right now. I remember I watched it. I watched it with my wife. We did a review of it together, and I definitely had an opinion then, but I have no opinion of it now. It's weird how time does that. Travis, what is the movie that everyone hates that you can't help but like? John Carter is mine. That's a good one because John Carter is also one of those. And I don't understand why everybody hates it. You know what? Along those, lines, I like Battleship. Same star, and I feel bad for him that he did John Carter huge flop, and then he did Battleship huge flop. It's not that Battleship is a good movie, but it's a sheer mindless movie. And the beginning of Battleship had me laughing hysterically where he's trying to get a burrito for the girl. Like seriously, that scene by itself, I could just watch it and not the rest of the movie and just have a great time. So I'm gonna kind of go with maybe those two. Those are the two that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I was trying to think of like another superhero movie that I like that maybe everybody hates. I would say Man of Steel, but that's like a 50-50. Like some people absolutely hate it, some people love it, but I love Man of Steel. It's got to be one of my favorite. Driscoll Brothers, what's your favorite comedy? Mine is The Hangover and 21 Jump Street. Tommy Boy. 1995, Chris Farley, David Spade. I think that is my absolute favorite comedy, hands down. Now I might watch it tonight because you made me wait. No, I have to record a podcast tomorrow about Man of Steel. I'm watching Man of Steel tonight, but now I'm gonna have to watch Tommy Boy here at some point. So awesome, Jordan Sweet. I don't recall you reviewing Bumblebee. Were you a fan? I thought it was charming. I haven't seen Bumblebee, so I didn't do a review of it. And the reason I didn't review it is not because I dislike Transformers and I wanted nothing to do with it, is because it came out at Christmas time, and it came out right at the time I was going to Ohio to visit my family for Christmas. And then after a certain point, it's kind of like nobody has interest to continue to look up people's thoughts on it on YouTube. So it's just one of those that got away from me. So it's not that I don't have an interest to see it, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So that's really cool. So I think I am going to have to check it out. But it's just for me, like when you hit the holiday seasons, it gets harder because like one set of my family lives 3 hours away, and then another set of my family lives on the other side of the country. So whenever it gets to the holidays and I'm seeing family, it's like I take that time seriously, and I definitely take some time off. So that's why there's no Bumblebee. So I would like to see it, and maybe I'll do some thoughts on it sometime down the road. Let's see. Driscoll Brothers, did you check out Rocket Man? It's really good. I did not check out Rocket Man. I live in a very small town, and I work at a one-room theater. So it's only playing one movie. and and we've been playing Rocket Man for 4 weeks. So I haven't seen Rocket Man, but man, Taron Edgerton can sing, because there I am doing my chores and cleaning everything and popping popcorn, and I'm just listening to all the songs in there while I'm doing it. That kid has got some pipes on him. So I mean, that just from that alone, I gotta say that's good casting, and it's been hilarious. I'll go in there to check on the auditorium, or the movie be over, so I'm opening the doors, and people are dancing in the aisles. So it really seems like people are having a blast with that movie. I just haven't gotten the chance to actually sit down and watch it yet. Let's see. Scott says, I was watching Homecoming today. I can't wait for Far From Home. Yep, that does definitely look like it's going to be a good one. Caleb, for me, it's a three-way tie between 90s animated Spider-Man, Spider-Man PS4, and Ultimate Spider-Man, the Disney animated show. Those are all great Spider-Man incarnations. Super Jordan reviews. I haven't seen Man of Steel since it came out, and I remember being bored. But to be fair, I wasn't really paying attention, and I was 10. You know what? That'll do it for you. So let me tell you why I wasn't bored in Man of Steel. My Superman growing up was Christopher Reeve's Superman. You want boring. This is a Superman who doesn't even face a supervillain. And it's done in the 70s where they didn't even have the real technology to bring him up against like something super. I mean, he does in Superman too, and they actually do a pretty good job with that for the 70s. But I'm just saying, I loved it, and I'm not bored even now when I go back and watch that Superman. But if you want to compare, Man of Steel is a nonstop thrill ride that forces Clark to use all of his powers in the origin story compared to that classic Christopher Reeve Superman movie, which is intentionally and purposefully a slow burn and a build up to his powers and kind of what he's capable of. So for me, I can't be bored in Man of Steel because I grew up loving that first Superman movie. Let's see, Travis. Cinderella is fantastic. A movie I would show my non-existent daughter anytime. I have two boys. Check it out. It's about earning the good things that happen in your life. All right. I mean, that's a pretty good review, I'll say. So I might have to check that out. Scott saying Bumblebee is fantastic. Caleb, I like, unpopular opinion, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Gasp the pound. Gosh, I love the way you're writing. That's hilarious. It was just campy enough for me to enjoy it. I did like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I thought it was a pretty good one. I like Hans Zimmerman's score in it. I thought it was really good. I didn't like that the trailer showed the final shot of the film, you know, in the trailer. That stunk. But I thought it was overall pretty good movie. Kind of sad to watch Gwen Stacy die at the very end, and so tragic because it's like he caught her, but just at the wrong second. So I think Andrew Garfield was a really good Spider-Man, and both of those Amazing Spider-Man movies had really good moments. But right now, Tom Holland is just knocking it out of the park for me. Caleb, what's your favorite movie? Mine is The Rocketeer. Jurassic Park, 1993. That is my favorite movie. Super Jordan reviews. I like Guardians 2 more than most people's as it's my favorite MCU film after Endgame, but my unpopular opinion is probably me disliking Aquaman. Wow. I mean, I like Guardians 2 as well, and I think I like it more than most people do. But it's not my favorite in the MCU. So yeah, that's cool. Aquaman, like I could see though, like why you wouldn't like it. I really like Aquaman, especially when you watch it in 4K. It looks freaking mind-bogglingly good. So I mean I like it, and I like Jason Momoa in that role. But there's definitely some things in Aquaman that are a little bit cheesy, and some places where it's like, wow, did you film that in front of a news station green screen? Because that definitely doesn't look so good. So there's definitely things I can understand why you don't like it. So I wouldn't say that's an unpopular opinion. I'm sure you got some good reasons in there for not liking it. I enjoyed it because I don't know, it was fun. Anyway, Driscoll Brothers, what do you think? Who do you think? I can read. Who do you think the funniest actor is? I think it's Jonah Hill. I don't know. Can I pick somebody dead? I'm gonna pick somebody dead. Chris Farley. That dude was loved him. I loved Chris Farley. That was the first celebrity when he died. I was a kid when he died. First celebrity I was like truly, really sad over because I love Chris Farley. Oh, and Robin Williams. Why not? I love Robin Williams. He did a lot of great comedies and had a great range, man. Could do the most depressing drama you've ever seen and then make you laugh hysterically. Driscoll Brothers, you and Sean should do another collab. You hear that, Sean Chandler? We should do another collab. Well, I'm going to try to rope him into another Star Wars collab when we get out here to the new Star Wars Episode 9, because Sean Chandler and I have had a tradition each year doing theological analyses of Star Wars movies together. Sean I don't know if you've seen those collabs of me and Sean Chandler talking Star Wars, but search that on this channel. That dude has some fantastic perspective, and I think those are some really, really great videos. So definitely worth. Favorite Marvel. What is my favorite Marvel movie? I don't know, man. That is hard. Probably at this point, Infinity War. That's a really great Marvel. Let's see, Driscoll Brothers. I found Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer ruined the movie. It showed way too much. It really did. I don't know what is going on with trailer companies, man. I don't know why they think they could get away with showing with what they get away with and get these kind of complaints. Like now we live in a world where everybody can complain and everybody can hear it. So maybe that's why. Maybe they're just numb to the complaints because everybody complains about everything. But my gosh, it is really annoying. That's why, like, when I do trailer reactions, you only see me do them for like the teasers and maybe like the first official trailer. And you see my reactions hit my thumb on the table. You see my reactions start to peter out and go away past that. And that's me being fearful. Like, if it's a movie I really want to see, I don't want it ruined. So I have a hard time doing trailer reactions as it progresses. I did it for Marvel because they just straight up lie in their trailers to mislead us. And then we still get all these surprises. So I wasn't, worried about that with, Endgame and stuff. But, oh, man. Let's see. Oh, wait, you asked me who my favorite Marvel Chris is. See, my first name is Chris, so that really confused me. Favorite Marvel Chris. Gosh. Oh, I am so sorry, Driscoll Brothers. Something just triggered in my brain. I'm sorry, Super Jordan Reviews. Something just triggered in my brain. My favorite Marvel Chris would probably be. I love Chris Evans' portrayal of Captain America, man. He has made that character the heart and kind of the backbone. So yeah, I'm, I'm probably gonna go with him with a runner-up of Chris Hemsworth because it was awesome to see kind of a more serious Thor in the first Thor movie, and then see him do comedy in that third one. So good range there. What is oh my gosh, favorite Marvel Chris? That just confused me because that is my first name. Oh my gosh. Okay. Scott, do you enjoy sequels to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World? I don't think they're bad. Let's see. I like the Lost World Jurassic Park. I think that's a good movie up until the T-Rex is in San Diego. Jurassic Park 3, I just don't like very much. The Lost World, uh, Jurassic World was really good. I really loved Jurassic World. To me, that brought the magic back. Fallen Kingdom, I since I've gotten it on 4K, I keep falling asleep when I watch it. I don't know if that's a sign. I don't really feel like I hate it, but there's something about it that's not holding my attention. I enjoyed it the first time I saw it, but I think it's the trailers. They showed way, way too much. But as a whole, like I don't think I hate Jurassic Park sequels as much as the world hates them. Like I really dislike Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is clearly not up there as my favorite. Lost World is cool until the last bit with the T-Rex in San Diego, and then I really did enjoy Jurassic World all the way through. I just thought that one was a lot of fun. Super Drone Reviews, I'm trying to get back into YouTube reviews. Do you have any tips? Well, I would just say if you're trying to get back into it, just man, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun to get to talk about movies and don't forget it. Like, don't forget why you're getting back into the reviews and what it is that's making you want to do it. Because YouTube is just this hungry beast. And no matter what you feed it, it remains hungry. And it will keep demanding and demanding and demanding. I mean, I hit a lull probably my second year doing this, third year doing this. Not like a lull like I ever wanted to stop, but a lull where I felt like it was really starting to burn me out. And so what I really had to figure out is why am I doing this? I mean, yes, I wouldn't mind making money out of this because I'd like this to be my job over anything else because I love being in front of the camera. I love editing and I love creating and I love talking about movies. It's all like a win, 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 win for me. But it's this ever hungry beast. So I would say don't forget why you want to do this. Like have that why firmly in mind and just enjoy it. For me, I love being creative and I love having this stuff to talk about and I love interacting with you guys. So, because of that love, I am here. Should this ever become something that absolutely skyrockets and I make lots of money off of it, that would be fantastic. I'm not there right now and I don't care because I just really enjoy creating this. So, just make sure, like, as you're getting back into it, that's my tip to you that it's something that you really create. If you wanted something more technical, I could give you a few more things. So, just let me know about that. But for me, like that's always the heart of it. It's fun to learn analytics. Well, no, it's not fun to learn analytics, but that all comes with it. But you just got to remember why you're doing it and why you started it to begin with. Driscoll Brothers, also you and Zach Pope would be a great collab. I've done a few things with Cody Curtis and Zach Pope. I love working with those guys. So yeah, man, anytime, anytime. I need to actually be more proactive and reach out to these guys too. They're all really cool people, and it's been fun working with them in the past. So I would definitely love to do more stuff with Cody Leach and Sean Chandler and Ryan O'Toole and Zach Pope and just all of you guys, just all of you. So yeah, okay. A Place About Movies says Jurassic Park is also my favorite movie. Yep, it's a great one. Caleb, I have friends over at the Poindexter Lounge, and they are Christians, and is very open about it on the channel, and they would probably love to collaborate. He's a great guy who makes awesome content. Well, then have them message me. That could be a lot of fun. Driscoll Brothers, do you watch Austin Burke? I do watch Austin Burke, and he did an award show this year, and he hit me up to be like one of the presenters on his movie award show. That was like a tremendous honor. I like Austin Burke. I think he's got a fantastic personality here on YouTube. His editing is like, first class, man. He's just fun. He's a lot of fun to watch. He does a lot of great videos. So it was really cool that he had me on one of his videos to present an award. Like that was such a cool thing for me to be on his channel. Super Jordan Reviews. What tech do you use for your videos? I just use my iPhone. I have a DSLR camera and I got a Canon T3i and it's pretty flippin' fantastic. Like right now, this is just my laptop and I'm talking on my webcam. So, the quality might be a little bit lesser. So I have a Canon T3i and I've used that for about 3, 4 years now. And it's been great. And they're on the Canon like T7i or something crazy now. So you could probably get a 3i, 4i for pretty decent prices. And they're really, really good. So that's what I use for my microphone. As I try not to make crazy noises, it's this H5 Zoom. I actually did some voiceover work for a little bit. So I would take this microphone, I'd go into a closet with clothes all around to get rid of echo, and I would do my auditions on that, and it would sound fantastic. So it's a really, really cool mic, and you should definitely, those are some really cool tools to have. And then my lighting kit, you could get a cool box set lighting kit 3-point on Amazon at a pretty decent price. So let's see. Rain, rainstorms. I'm gonna guess that's what it is. They shouldn't have locked the Stanley tribute behind a paywall. He's a beloved hero, legend, and a big part of the Marvel family. It should have been in the first release. Yeah, maybe they didn't have it done, and maybe it was just kind of meant to be like on the Blu-ray as a tribute, like in the special features. But yeah, it was a great tribute, and it would have been cool to have seen that in that first release of the film. But hey, I'm just glad they released it. And what's really cool is how thankful the creators were in those post-credit scenes, thanking everybody that stayed through the credits, and then again at the very end saying a huge thank you to everybody for even watching. So, yeah, I'm sure there might have been a little money grubbing there a little bit because it's a business and it's trying to make money, but it definitely felt like there was some real heart there. Let's see. You should collab with Chris Pratt. Thank you, Driscoll Brothers. If you are in touch with his agents at all, put me in touch. I would gladly do a collaboration with Chris Pratt. I'm sure Chris Pratt is subscribed to Durbania. So, Chris Pratt, if you're watching, I would love to do a collaboration with you on YouTube. Whatever you want to do, man. You want to do MCU? Let's do MCU. You want to do something else? We'll do something else. All right, you guys. Let's see. Why don't we do 5 more minutes? So we'll get off here at about 45 after. Okay, a little bit over 5 minutes. So 45 after the hour here, I'll go ahead and sign off. And so we'll get some questions in until we get to 45 after the hour. Briscoe Brothers, I am secretly Chris Pratt. Are you? If you are, that is just totally awesome. But it is the internet, so you have to understand that I would need some proof there. Super Jordan Reviews. I'd love to do a collab with you in the future. Sure, man. Just hit me up on Facebook or, in a video on YouTube or whatever, like what you want to do. I mean, that could be a lot of fun. I love doing collabs with people. There's a lot of fun in that. And it's also fun to meet all the other YouTubers that are out there. Got a great system of YouTubers that is really fun to talk with all the time. So awesome. Thoughts on Beetlejuice? Thought it was hilarious. Beetlejuice is pretty darn hilarious. I feel like I saw it as a kid and barely remembered it, and I forget what triggered me to rewatch it as an adult. But I rewatched it for the first time as an adult, I think last Halloween, actually. And it was awesome. And Michael Keaton is flipping fantastic. So my thoughts on Beetlejuice is classic. It's just a really fun movie. My favorite Pixar movie is The Incredibles. Caleb, what was the first movie you remember seeing? The Predator. My parents love sci-fi, especially my mom. And the first movie I ever saw on the big screen, I was a toddler, and it was The Predator. My memory is Arnold screaming, the monster roaring, and me hiding my head in my dad's chest while staring intently down at the aisle lights of the theater floor leading up to the exit. That was the first one I actually remember seeing. Next one after that is probably Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer. Both those movies are just classic. And Masters of the Universe. What a fantastic film. Okay, anyway, how many times have you seen Captain Marvel? I liked it more every time I watched it. I liked Captain Marvel more when I watched it at home than I did on the big screen. I think I saw it twice on the big screen. I can't really remember now. It's an okay movie. Like, it wasn't my favorite movie. If it had come out, it's like a phase one movie. So if it had actually come out with phase one, like it totally fit that vibe and probably would have been really much better there. But I think I enjoyed it more on the smaller screen than I did on the bigger screen. So probably 3 times that I've seen that. Super Jordan reviews, Brie Larson gets more hate than she deserves. I agree with that. I do. I think, I mean, she does do good. I mean, I could definitely see some places where people are critiquing her performance, where they would want to see a little bit more emotion here, a little bit more emotion there. Like, yeah, there's this chunk of me that could kind of see that. But I agree. It's like somebody put gasoline out there and lit a match, and it just lit on fire, but nobody knew what they were actually on fire about. So it just felt like a lot of unfair hate went Brie Larson's way. So yeah, it may not be like Captain Marvel's not my favorite in the MCU, but I don't understand where the internet went nuts. I don't know. Anyway, Scott, I saw it twice too. Awesome. Yeah, I saw it twice on the big screen. Saw it once when I bought it. So yeah, Captain Marvel's pretty good. Any questions that I missed? What was that? I answered that one. Thoughts on Beetlejuice? Driscoll Brothers is secretly Chris Pratt. That is yet to be proven. Yeah. Well, hey, it looks like we're all getting ready to wrap up here. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call it and start wrapping this up. And I just want to say to all of you that joined me in this chat, thank you. It's been a blast hanging out with you. Going to be a little bit slower on my channel next week because all my family's going to be out. So I'm going to take some time and hang out with them. And it's going to be a fun week. But when we come back, my wife and I are going to review Stranger Things Season 3. Like as soon as my family is out the door, we are gonna binge watch that thing and boom, just throw out that review. You will see a Far From Home review from me next week, and it's gonna be a good time. You should do more Q&As in the future. You know, Super Jordan, it is a lot of fun to do these. The only reason I don't is because like I love having high quality stuff, and I always feel like when I do this is not as high quality as I'd like, and I get a little insecure about that. But it is every time I do it, it's just a flippin' blast to do it, and I love hanging out with you guys. So I will sincerely make an effort to do this more often. Driscoll Brothers, I wish I was Chris Pratt. Don't we all? Let's see. Have a great day. Thank you all so much. So you all have a great day. If you're not subscribed to Durbania, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for the next time I do an awesome live Q&A. Like this is a surprise. Wasn't planning to do it today, but I thought, why not? It's going to be a blast. So thank you all so much for joining me. Hit that subscribe button and check out my channel tomorrow, dropping an awesome Spider-Man Homecoming video. I had a lot of fun making it the top 3 things Peter Parker learned about being a superhero. So that is coming out tomorrow morning. So make sure you come by and you check that one out. I'm Durbin. Thank you all so much for joining me for the stream.